What up, world? Hey, listen, I just had a thought for a minute, and I thought, let me share it with everybody and just kind of get your take on it. Um, it's on the subject of faith. I know I love it. It's probably one of my hands down favorite subjects to talk about. I just feel like it's had its high times and moments over the course of the years, and then it took a nosedive, and everybody's like, oh well, what's faith, and we hear songs about it, we hear people talk about it. But listen, I want to talk to you about the God kind of faith, the Bible faith. I know a lot of times people are just believing in something. Whether you're a Christian or you're a non-Christian, listen, I've heard one pastor say it, and I believe when he said this, I believe it's true. That the principles of faith work for anybody. It doesn't matter. And I'm not talking about name it, claim it, blab it, grab it. And you know what? The people that say that, they couldn't. They say, well, I don't believe, that, you have to have a lot of money, and I don't believe that, I'm just not greedy, and I don't want to be rich, and blah, 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 blah. Listen, when the bills are due at the end of the month, you ask them if they really believe that money's important. Listen, Jesus talked about money more than anything in the New Testament. I've been listening to teachings lately, and I'm telling you, scripturally, it's backed up. He put it in place for us to govern our lives. Now, we don't put it in front of him, but it's used for a purpose to bring in what I feel like is what we're doing here. This his whole design here. I mean, it's his design. Jesus talked about money more than hell. Jesus talked about money more than love. Jesus talked more about money than faith. And guess what? This will blow your socks off. Jesus talked about money more than he talked about all three of those I just mentioned combined. And you might say, heresy, false teaching, blah, 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 blah. Listen, I'll take you to the bank with it. So if you want to go head to head on some Bible teaching with me, bring it on. This is where we'll draw the line right here. Matter of fact, I'll draw the line of faith, because I guarantee you I believe it more than you do, and I trust that God's word is true. Now, let me just share with you for a second, because I've been kind of trapped in this for years. I love to encourage people. I love to see the potential that they have and what they're doing, and just kind of seeing, hey man, wow, you went from this to this to this, and wow, you could do this, and you could do this, and you find yourself believing in what they're doing so strongly that you start to give them great ideas, and you're thinking, wow, you can do this, and you can do that, and man, you've captured lightning in a bottle, and I've encouraged people my whole life, but you know what my problem is I don't believe it to be true for my own self. I heard a saying the other day, and man, this saying is it floored me, and I didn't want to put it out there, because I love what I do, I love who I work for, but just to put it out there, I thought it was pretty interesting. And the saying said, if you don't dream big and build something for yourself, somebody else will hire you to build their dreams for them. So that struck me, and I'm like, man, I don't like that. I'm a dreamer, I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm a man of faith. And for years, I've been trapped in the circumstances and the realm of my own mind. And listen, faith doesn't believe what it hears, sees, touches, tastes, or smells. That's the natural, okay? But faith goes into a realm that you can't see with any of your senses. That's sense knowledge faith. That's what most people have. I won't see it unless I won't believe it unless I see it. Unless I can put my hands on it, see it with my own eyes, taste it with my tongue, and smell it with my nose, the whole 9 yards. What I just mentioned here. But listen, the realm of faith, the God kind of faith, goes outside the boundaries of the mind, goes outside the boundaries of this realm. It's the God kind of faith is what brought forth creation in itself. And now I'm really getting into some heavy stuff, because everybody's probably thinking, wow, what do you think, you're God? Listen, I believe that God gave us a gift of creation, and it's right here. It's 1 inch below our nose. It starts with our mouth. It starts believing in our hearts, and it starts to push out from the lines that we see in the invisible realm around us, okay? And I'm not talking about name it, claim it, all that, okay? Just hear me out here, because again, God designed us to do much more than what our minds are allowing us to. So we've got to push through. We've got to believe past what our capabilities of what our own abilities are. It's amazing. And I just want to be, I just want to encourage somebody today, and whether it's myself or a boatload of people, but, hey, leave some comments and below and let me know what you think. Call me crazy, call me Bible thumper, call me what you want, but I'm telling you, you're going to call me right here when you start putting into practice what I believe is, hey, praying and believing. I'm not talking about just getting physical stuff here, because, if you go into Hebrews, starting with chapter 11, you go down the hall of faith and you'll see where God, brought people through great measures of faith, great believing and trusting in what God is, trusting and leaning in, relying on God and not yourself. I'll wrap it up by saying a lot of people say, well, in the realm of, in the hall of faith, you see all these people and it talks about where they didn't accomplish it, or the end result really didn't happen here. You're right, because you know what? The faith should end up, the end result should be you being glorified in heaven with the Father. So if your overall arching completion of your faith ending up in this world, and you arrive and you can see it and it's tangible, you haven't arrived yet. So don't put your faith in man or physical things, okay? I believe God will use those to bring us in to the design and the mission that he has for you today, man. So bless God. Hope you guys think on this a little bit, and leave some comments below. Peace.